Morning, John Hughes here, back with John's Morning Focus, and today is yet another episode of Fit Friday, where I share with you 3 of my daily habits, hacks, rituals that I've incorporated into my routine that have transformed my life, and I challenge you to try some of them out, study them, give it 30 days, see if it doesn't help you as well, have more energy, vitality, get thinner, and a variety of other things. So, tip number 1 is very simply, every day I try to have bone broth, which is basically soup made from bones of chicken or pork or beef or lamb or whatever kind of meats that I make. I save the bones, and when I've got a good container of them, then I boil them up with a bunch of vegetables like onions, carrots, and then strain all that off and just drink the juice. And what that does, and an alternative to it would be collagen, which you can buy in small containers, and that's what we're trying to get out of the bone broth. This is basically proteins that will help your skin, your hair, your nails, your joints, and hugely important, and it helps to alleviate joint pain, and it makes your skin smoother, and it's been used forever. You've heard about the importance of chicken soup. That is largely derived from all the good things that come out of the bones and the skin and all that gristly stuff that you don't eat that kind of dissolves into the soup. You can also buy bone broth in little boxes. I get it at Aldi for about $3, and it's 2 or 3 servings worth. So tip number 1, incorporate collagen, which you can mix into a drink or a coffee, or bone broth, either homemade or go buy it, and you'll really enjoy that. Okay, tip number 2 is regular vitamin D. And now I live in South Florida and it's summertime, so most of us should be able to get out and get vitamin D from the sun. There's a variety of different things that it does for you. It makes you more alert. It can help to reduce the prevalence of diabetes. It helps you to avoid cancer. It avoids inflammation. It reduces rheumatoid arthritis. And I would say Google it. I came up with 12 and I can only remember a few of them right off the bat. But vitamin D is hugely important. Now, depending on where you are, it's hard to get sunshine, certainly during times of the year if you live in Canada or whatever. So you can also buy it in pill form, and I forget exactly the amount to take. In terms of sun, the amount of sun you want to take, oh, that's another thing. It actually reduces the prevalence of cancer. Everything that we've been told by the industry that stands to benefit by selling us stuff is basically wrong and backwards. You do need sunshine. You're not going to die if you go out. You don't need to cover yourself up all the time, but rather expose yourself. And people are getting more skin cancer because they slather themselves with chemicals. So anyway, study that. It's an interesting rabbit hole. So you want to get about enough sun that you just start turning pink. And that could, definitely don't get sunburned. That is bad. But you can go for a walk with minimal clothing, as exposed as you can be. Like I walk on the weekends with no shirt. So go ahead and check out vitamin D as a regular inclusion in your life, and walking outside or sitting by the pool and kind of flipping a couple times over 10, 15, 20 minutes if you're light like I am. The darker you are, the more sun you actually can handle and need to get the right amount of vitamin D that you need. So do some research, check that out, start to include it. Tip number 3 is all about the cell phone. And I've actually got 3 different things. Some mental health, some physical health aspects of, and personal growth of the cell phone in my life. First thing is, as I've said a couple times, I drive for about 2 hours every day on my way to work. So I use my cell phone as a tool regularly. And over the last couple years, I've listened to hundreds of hours of podcasts of scientists and nutrition and fitnesses and business owners and entrepreneurs and super smart people that have done all kinds of stuff that I can glean their information and grow my brain and put things into practice. Also, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I am able to devour, between the ones I sit and read and the ones that I listen to, 6 or 7 books every month by using my phone as a podcast. So let's call it tip 3A. The second thing that I do with my cell phone is at night when I go to bed, I put it on airplane mode so that I can use it for an alarm to get me up, because I get up pretty early every day and I don't want to oversleep because I've kind of got my morning routine. I got to hustle when I get up. But I leave it on airplane mode so I am not bothered by bells and dings and buzzers, and also so there's not all that electromagnetic radiation and everything that that whole industry is hiding from us right now to blast my brain within arm's reach. So tip number 2, put it on airplane mode to not be bothered, to have several hours of uninterrupted sleep, and to not blast your brain. And then tip number 3, when you do first wake up, don't jump right onto social media and review your emails and all things like that, but rather take it with you, set it next to you. Whatever you're doing in the morning, give yourself half an hour to an hour to do your own routine. As I've talked before, I've got my gratitude routine, I've got my reading routine, and I take care of my animals, and then I get started with my day, but I haven't looked at anything on my cell phone simply because it'll still be there when I get there, but I want to control my schedule. And if I open it up and I look at Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and emails and news, now I've given the control of my life, my routine, the start of my day to the world. Much better to bring it back home, start it solid, and be better prepared as you go out into the world or even face anything that's on your cell phone. So there you go, my 3 tips for today, and I would ask you to please subscribe to this channel, share it with other people, do your research on these things, and incorporate them in your lives, give them a little test, and please subscribe to the channel by hitting that little button on the little bell icon so that you get alerts as soon as I put something out. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.